Hey everyone, I'm Jamie,
And I'm Dave.
and we're the founders of the MGI community. And today we wanted to make a video to illustrate the purpose of the community, how you can get involved, and the forums that are featured on the site. So the entire point of the website and the company is to create a place where gamers with talent can come together and actually contribute and make a game. And in order to do that, we have a submission system where anyone can come in and create a submission for story or graphics or music. And it can be anything from simply giving your opinion on how something should go to actually creating something and putting it up for the community to vote on. And how that works is the community is going to see your submission separated into chunks, and they'll get to vote on each chunk. And if each chunk passes, or submission aspect as we call them, if they pass, then your idea gets put in the game. It's as simple as that. And so, it's a great place for people to come and really express themselves in a way that they couldn't before.
So, a good example of that would be currently we have a game that just came out called Chroma Chords, and an example of a submission would be the stone blocks that are in the game. So what you would do is you'd go in and start a new submission, and the first step would be to write a description. So your description is something like, I think there should be stone blocks in the game. It'll add a level of difficulty. There needs to be some kind of, reasonable thing to happen when somebody screws up. And you click next. You're done with your description. The next step says, okay, pick 3 important points from your description, or however many important points from your description that really kind of nails down exactly what your submission is about. So for stone blocks, for example, would be the blocks are stone. The blocks can't move, and the blocks show up when you screw up. There's 3 separate aspects to it. And then you click next, go to the next step. The next step is a title. So now you title it, non-movable stone blocks appear when you screw up. And the next step, you add your personal notes, and then you're done. So we kind of walk you through this process of really refining your idea and really pulling it apart and thinking about it in a bigger picture sort of way. And it allows people to actually go in and look at the separate little pieces of what make an entire idea complete.
And what's really good about the system is, since it's a forum, when you submit an idea, you get immediate feedback on what other people think is going to work and isn't going to work. And so after the voting, if there's something that failed, you can actually read why and what people thought. And you can go in and remedy it and resubmit it, just that one aspect that failed, or you can just take it out of your submission and just have the ones that passed already pass. And the number one concern that I've always had in a situation like this is you're really kind of putting yourself out there when you give an idea, and if it gets shot down for some obvious reason that you didn't think of, or people absolutely hate it, you're not really encouraged to ever do that again. You're just kind of done. It's frustrating, it's embarrassing. So what we've done is we made the forums anonymous. So anyone can go in and you submit your idea, and nobody knows who submitted it until it passes. Now, once it passes, the name shows up, and everyone's like, oh, okay, that user made that. That's awesome. If it fails, the name never shows up. And what this means is that you can go in and you can actually separate all the comments and make sure that there's nothing personal, because there's no way that anyone can attack you personally when they don't know who you are. And it forces people to just focus on the idea, the submission. So every idea that you vote on, you're not playing favorites to some other forum member. You're just voting on the idea. So you could absolutely hate someone else in the forum, and you will just be forced to focus on whatever their idea is, instead of saying, oh, I absolutely don't want this guy to get any credit. I'm going to downvote everything that he submits.
And as an example of how our forum has been set up to do this, we've actually created a number of fake accounts and fake submissions in order to show you kind of an example of how we envision things to run. Now, you might get to the site and decide, it's a really bad way of doing things, and you can create a submission saying, this is a really bad site design, you should change it. And just like any of the features in the games that we're going to make are up for vote, so is the site. So, the vehicle for actually getting these submissions and ideas out there isn't working, it can be changed, and it's up to you guys to decide whether it works for you or not.
And we really, really encourage that kind of attitude of like just get up and voice your opinion and make the change. And it really takes away your ability to just sit and complain about something. You see it all the time on app review sites on the iPhone, people just complaining and complaining and complaining about the way the game's designed. Well, you can't do that anymore if you're complaining about an MGI game, because now you're kind of put to task to get up and go make an account. And if you're going to seriously complain because you are so compelled to tell the world how much this feature sucks, you can change it. And if you sit there and you don't make an account, you kind of look like a jerk, because you could be making it better. Instead, you just wanted to sit and whine. So it's a very unique structure, and there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to probably trip up on. It's a complete experiment, and that's why we need you to voice your opinion and be realistic about it. So you can't just say, well, what if we did everything in Flash and we made it so that the database kept track of this, this, and this, and this. Okay, that's not realistic. So it's going to be a balance between saying this is what we should fix and this is what we can fix. And hopefully that balance will start to become evident, and we'll start to implement changes that make the whole experience better, just in the same way that we introduce pieces that make the game's experiences better. So that's kind of the gist of the website. It's basically just a tool for you to get out and work and collaborate on a project with other gamers and to get your stuff out there. And when you put your stuff in a game, even if it's just your opinion, if it passes, it's going in the credits. And they're going to be actual published titles, which means if you are a musician, if you are a 3D modeler, if you're an artist, if you write stories, whatever, and you really want to get your work out there, you can participate for free. We will never ask you for money ever. And you get your stuff out there. And that's huge. And that's the other thing, is the money. We'll never ask you to buy anything, to sign up or pay a fee, nothing. And we really want to illustrate the point that we are exactly like you. All we did is go out and make this website. We're passionate gamers. We don't belong in the industry, by conventional standards. And we know that there's enough talent and enough passion out there to make stuff happen. And all we got to do is corral that passion and that talent. And that's what MGI is about. So, that's the site. Those are the forums. Create an account and start making games. Yeah.
See you next time.
Yeah, see you next time.